Drafting Chris Olave in the second round this year is going to lose you a lot of fantasy leagues. This is a guy who through 2 seasons in the NFL has averaged just under 80 catches, just under 1,100 yards, and 4.5 touchdowns per year. Although people are excited about Clint Kubiak's arrival to New Orleans, the situation for Chris Olave remains very unchanged. He's still tied to Derek Carr, who over the last couple years has only averaged 3,700 yards and 24 touchdowns. And the competition for targets and projected opportunity in this offense for Chris Olave remains exactly the same. Alvin Kamara and Shaheed are still there. Juwan Johnson and Taysom Hill are still there and are going to be red zone threats for touchdowns. So why are we universally revering a guy who projects so heavily as a mid to low end wide receiver too, as a top 16 fantasy pick in 2024. By comparison, Michael Pittman is being drafted 20 picks lower than Chris Olave. This is the same Michael Pittman who is coming off of the best year of his career, where he had 109 catches for over 1,100 yards. And over the last 3 seasons, his fantasy production averages out to be higher than Chris Olave's. And he's getting a sizable quarterback upgrade from Gardner Minshew to Anthony Richardson in 2024. Chris Godwin is another guy that you can get in the 6th, 7th, or 8th rounds of fantasy drafts. He's had over 80 catches and 1,000 yards in each of the last 3 years. And the intention is to move Chris Godwin back to the slot after he only played 32% of his snaps from the slot in 2023. It's easily forgotten, but once upon a time, Chris Godwin did finish as fantasy wide receiver 2 overall. And this goes without mentioning Amari Cooper, who also is available 3 to 4 rounds after Chris Olave. Over the course of his last 2 seasons in Cleveland, Cooper has averaged 75 catches for 1,200 yards and 7 touchdowns, which is better production than Chris Olave. I think Chris Olave is a great player, and I like his value in dynasty formats a lot, but drafting him in the second round in 2024 is a huge mistake.